Have you ever wanted to improve your improv? Those two things are very similarly spelled. You got improv and improve, minus the E. Improv in Dungeons & Dragons, especially as a dungeon master, is one of the hardest skills to learn. But equally, it is also quite important for just about anything, just in case you forgot your session or forgot parts of your lore and you need to fit in little bits of, oh, perhaps you did this or perhaps you did that. And sometimes improv isn't that good. Sometimes you really have to struggle to put something together that you really didn't think of. But fret not. This video is here to give you, the watcher, the viewer, the subscriber, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, but I'm watching you. This video's purpose is to help you and give you some tips about how you can improve your improv or how you can very quickly put something together right here, right now. Say you are having a session in about 15 to 20 minutes and you really forgot one part of your session that was ultimately one of the most important bits. Perhaps it's an NPC, perhaps it's a location, or maybe your players decided to go to a place you had no idea that they could even go to because the wizard was hiding teleport from you the entire time. Regardless of your reason, improv is important. So here are a couple things you can do to make it just a little bit easier. One of the number one tried and true tricks for any dungeon master looking to improv is to have small little lists of names and descriptions. Like I said for the names, perhaps there's an NPC that you totally did not prepare for, and your party is walking down the street asking a bunch of different people questions of what their names are for some reason. Because they're like that, and they want you to suffer. They want you to have to find a name for every single NPC on that street because they like it. But having a list of names, just maybe alphabetical order, or maybe just for humans, or dwarves, or elves, what have you, it's nice to have a list of names just to draw from when you need it. Also, having a small list of descriptions would go a long way in helping you describe areas or objects, or even people. Perhaps you have a list of facial features, maybe a beard, maybe a scar, maybe the color of their eyes or hair, or maybe you have a list of, what the rock feels like, what it looks like, what's on it, what the runes look like, what's engraved upon it. Having just little things to draw from while you're improving can go a really long way in making your improv high quality and makes it seem like you prepared all of this and you're some sort of mega mind genius. The other tip I can give you is to practice different voices for your NPCs. Now this might feel a bit strange at first. You're like, what does this have to do with improv? Well, let me tell you what it has to do with improv. Giving different characters the same voice, even if they are just a strange one-off NPC that you're going to find on the side of the street, it's nice just to give them a unique voice. Maybe they're some sort of strange vagabond that's just walking the side of the road. Give them a little bit of a gruff voice, just something a little different, to give each little NPC a bit of spice. It really brings your world to life, and it does not take a whole lot of effort to do. This is also great for shopkeepers, because chances are, if your party likes to come around the same area a lot, that one-off shopkeeper might become a favored character amongst the party. So giving them a unique voice to remember is something the party will most likely enjoy. Third tip I can give you is, in your free time, just make a couple of outlines of scenarios. Maybe some combat scenarios, maybe some roleplay scenarios, maybe some mystery. And I say outlines and not just full-blown scenarios because perhaps you'll need to change certain elements of that fight depending upon where the party is. Say, you have an outline of just goblins in a cave. And that's a very good outline to have, actually, because it's very flexible. Perhaps they're in a more magical area or continent, so these goblins have some sort of magical curse upon them, and diving deeper into the cave leads to a strange wizard who's been putting curses on the nearby townsfolk. That is something I came up with just now, right here, and the only thing I had was goblins in a cave on my beautiful word script. Or perhaps just having other strange scenarios like a locked chest, a magically locked chest, perhaps. Maybe there's no way to open it unless you go somewhere or do something or say something. Just having little, maybe random events or just strange little outlines that you can apply to any situation can go a long way in making the world feel alive and different, and again, like you've planned every single inch of this world and the party can do nothing to foil that. The fourth tip I could give you, and arguably one of the most important, trust me, is when you improv something, a name, an NPC, a bit of lore even, make sure after the session ends, you write that down. You don't want to be the dungeon master who forgot what he said or forgot the lore of his own world because you just had the improv in that one quick moment and you completely forgot about it afterwards. Even during the session, right after you make a remark that you know you improved, make a quick little note, a quick little, maybe 2-3 words, just something to get down very quickly, just so you remember what you were talking about so you can expand upon it in your free time. Forgetting something and having one of your players bring it up later is always kind of a bad feeling to have as a dungeon master. You're like, you completely forgot. It's just like a cool bit of lore that you came up with on the spot, and now you know basically nothing about it because there is nothing to know. So make sure you write down what you said during your session, or maybe have one of your players just write down a quick summary if they want to. The last tip I can give you is, say you prepared absolutely nothing for the next session. There are a couple things you can do. And before I say this, what I'm about to tell you is something known as railroading. And many people do not like this because it feels like the campaign or one-shot is super linear and nothing they do really matters. And this is something to usually be avoided in many cases unless your players are looking for that kind of experience. Although, for any dungeon master, it is occasionally necessary. Say your players go off somewhere you completely did not prepare for and you don't want them there because you don't know what to do and you are panicking and you're frustrated. These are all horrible feelings for a dungeon master to have and can be very hard to get yourself out of. But there are ways that can seem very seamless and your players might not even know the difference. A couple of the tips I had already mentioned, the lists of names and descriptions, apply a little bit of NPC force to it. Perhaps the party has a friend, an NPC friend, maybe they're a wizard, maybe they're not. Either way, have this NPC panically walk up to your party and say, hey, there's an issue in the next town, can you come help? It doesn't have to be this exact scenario, but having an NPC say, you need to get out of here, there's something wrong, you need to go help me, or you need to go help this, or do that, or do this. That's a good way of not only giving the party a sudden burst of adventure, but also to get them away from where you want them. Say they're in the middle of a city you have no plans for, but you have the town next over completely done. Have that town light on fire. There's a million goblins, there's a million skeletons. Have the party rush over there. And while they're rushing over there, not only can you make notes about what that encounter is going to be, you can also make a couple of ideas and notes about what the city is supposed to be like. This is a extreme last measure resort, and it might not be the best thing to do in many cases, but if you word yourself right, if you keep yourself calm, you are likely to make it out just fine and your party won't know the difference. I will also say improv is something that you learn naturally as a dungeon master. Not all of us are great in the beginning, I certainly wasn't. So don't be too hard on yourself if you didn't prepare something and your improv isn't a whole lot, it's not like super detailed, it's not like this, it's not really what you wanted. Because as a dungeon master, you can always come back to that thing you improved or didn't prepare for, and bring it back full force a couple sessions later. I hope this video was insightful to you. I hope it was helpful. I'm really busy with college lately, so I am very sorry for the slow or extremely delayed uploads. But I'm almost getting there. I'm almost done. And when I am done, there will be considerably more videos. Make sure you like and subscribe because I don't know. Why not? It's free. You don't have to pay me. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Wait, no, I usually say adios. Adios.